Well, we weren't lying when we said we'd be right back with the 7th grade FBU National Championship ready for kickoff here in Naples. Neil Sika, FBU Director of Football and Player Development, Anthony Williams, having some fun for the 7th grade title game. GMSAA, they're in black, and they will kick off to Ohio, who's wearing the pink jerseys. This is a rematch. These two met at the 6th grade level last year, and special teams played a big part. And the opening kickoff to be returned by Christopher Black, who's broken it to the outside, and Black with a great return into GMSAA territory to the 32, and that's where Ohio, under the direction of one-time U.S. Army All-American, Ohio State standout, and long-time NFL receiver Ted Ginn Jr. and his group of players coming down here trying to win their first national title at any grade level. GMSAA, they lived in the shadows of GFL for so long, but they've started to emerge from that, Anthony, and won some championships over the last few seasons.
Yeah, it's good to see Ted Ginn Jr. and his dad. His dad's been very active in youth sports since back when he was a young man, and now he's taking over, following his dad's footsteps, doing a great job with the teams out of Ohio. So excited. It's going to be a really good game. Looking forward to this.
7th graders from GMSAA also won the championship last year. They're 8th graders now. They didn't make the final, but they've got 3 championships through 6th and 7th grade and one in 10U, which was won earlier today by Seattle. And a pre-snap penalty before the first play from scrimmage will back up Ohio.
Yeah, not a great way to start the game with your first play, having 12 men on the field. Obviously, we talked about it in the 6th grade game. A little nervous right now, both by the players and coaches. Hopefully they'll get that corrected here, even though they're behind the chains now.
See that G for the Glenville helmet. Prominent city school program in the Cleveland area. There's also kids on this team from Western Pennsylvania who play in the league in which many of these young men come from. City League based in Ohio. It starts off with the quarterback, Koustakis, giving to Black, and like lightning through the line and into the end zone for a touchdown. Did you blink? Because you might have missed it.
Touchdown, Christopher Black.
Christopher Black showing great speed and explosion on a just basic lead dive play. Takes the ball, sees a gap, hits it hard. One step, boom, turn on the jets, get to the end zone. Everybody check out what cleat size I wear. Great job with that young man.
Black turns out the lights on the opening play from scrimmage after the penalty. 45-yard touchdown run. He has been ranked as one of the top players, 12-year-olds from the state of Pennsylvania. I mentioned that Western PA footnote. The give up the middle here on the conversion is no good. Trying to have Khalil Dimming, who plays both sides of the ball, convert, but it didn't take long. Ohio got several new players from last year's 6th grade team. They moved the football early and often last year, couldn't turn it into points, got burned on special teams, but I'm sure that's been addressed in the way they started this game. Great return on the kickoff, and Black, who has both big plays to stake them to a 6-0 lead.
Yep. Once again, I'll reiterate my point to you youth coaches out there. Special teams shortened the field, gave him great field position on the opening kickoff. First play, your elite running back takes the ball, gets to the hole, takes it 45 yards. We're 1 minute into the game and you're up 6-0. That's a great start for Team Ohio.
All right. So how's that for a beginning to the 7th grade FBU National Championship? The 7th graders started a year after the 8th grade title game in 2012. And Maryland won that inaugural title. GMSAA. They're in black from head to toe. Longtime rival of the Gwinnett Football League in this tournament. And this group has come alive under head coach Leon Prickett. He played at West Georgia. He's also taken over the director of GMSAA. You have your directors and your coaches, and he oversees the personnel for all the grade levels.
GMSA been a great tradition here in this tournament, putting out great players at every level. It's good to see them back here in the championship. This will end up being a good game. We started this game last night. You did my game. We got off to a fast start, and then it goes back and forth. So GMSA needs to just come out, don't panic, run your offense. It's still early in the game, and see what you can do.
Trip Chapman got the opening carry. C.J. Cipher is the returning quarterback. He's got a great arm. Gives to Chapman again. He's met in the hole by Khalil Dimming. Dimming has already had the carry on the conversion. That failed, makes the tackle here. 3rd and 5 for GMSAA on their opening possession. Cipher with those neon socks. He's in trouble. Got it away to Zion Williams, who's new to the group this year, but it was just to cover enough space to make it manageable to punt because Cipher was under the gun.
Yeah, Team Ohio came out on a 3-3 stack. You could tell they got athletes that can run, and they fly to the ball. Look at this here. 3, 4, 5 guys coming. Coach is definitely going to be changing up his defense based to get his players in space, utilize their speed on defense.
Amir Lemons was in the backfield, and he will make lemonade. He'll make much more in the future because he's got the potential to be one of the -- 1 wide receivers in the class of 2028. He was the quarterback on this team last year, but maybe they were. That's a great play on special teams down the field. Making the tackle was Ben Cagle, twin brother Noah. They're from Cartersville. One of the Canes, Cartersville Hurricanes, makes a big play to prevent the return. Mentioning back to Lemons, they were maybe limited a bit with the throwing ability, but he was gliding around the field, but he's exclusively a receiver here this year with the new quarterback coming in, Elvis Koutsakis. As you got to look at Cagle. We'll hope his defense can settle in a little bit better after Christopher Black came out of a cannon on that opening carry. There he is in the gold helmet.
Got to show the love to the punter for GMSA. That's a great punt. Flip the field, give their defense a chance to get a 3 and out and get the ball back. Great job.
Koutsakis claps his hands, a call for the snap, a weaving run, and more success for Ohio. Dimming does some damage into GMSAA territory. And early indications with Ohio doing what they want up front. Here's Black. Cut into the gap, and he's stacked there. Going to be pushed back. Forward progress will take him to the 45. It's a gain of about 4.
You know, I don't know about you, but just watching Dimming run the ball in that last play looked a lot like Ted Ginn Jr.
Yeah.
With the shoulder move and just the quick feet and explosive and getting north and south. I mean, obviously he's been studying his coach's film.
Can you tell he's their coach? That's pretty evident so far with that quick first step. Of course, his father, Ted Gidd Sr., so influential too. So many young players in the Cleveland area. He won his first state title as a head coach finally. That's caught. And running out of bounds with it is Jalen Edwards. He's an All-American in track and can fly, especially in the 400-yard dash. With 5 minutes left in the first quarter, Ohio has all the pieces on offense right now doing what they want. There is a flag. It's pass interference on GMSAA, and it's been declined.
Yeah, great job by Team Ohio. We're seeing them show the balance. They showed us the run for the first touchdown, and now they're throwing the fade route here to one of their top elite receivers with great speed. Nothing but having great balance on offense to keep the defense off their stem. I think the GMSA coaches right now are going to be adjusting to that and making sure that they are lined up correctly and that they know what coverage they're in, or else this thing could get out of hand here quickly with the way that Ohio's running the ball.
Now, isn't it funny, Anthony? We go from one grade level to the next. The amount of growth just in terms of the speed of the game and how it operates from 6th to 7th, just 12 to 13 years old.
And it's an even bigger jump, as you saw last night, from 8th grade to 9th grade.
Yeah.
Both these teams are very talented. They obviously got here. They're well coached. They're going to execute. But I'm interested to see how GMSAA kind of recovers from this adversity right now. They're a good team. Look for them to try and get a stop here. Maybe hold Ohio to a field goal or no score.
So after the completion, Gutsakis, the quarterback for Ohio, with Dimming in the backfield. He'll motion in Christopher Black. On 1st and 10 at the 17, Dimming got the edge. Dimming gliding around and finally steps out inside the 5. 1st and goal for Ohio.
Love the play call here. You bring motion with Black towards the left, getting the defense thinking they're going to try and run jet sweep to the left. They run sweep out opposite and picks a really good game. Once again, that kid, his running style really looks like Ted Ginn Jr. Great job by him on that big pickup there.
Ohio winners over Austin in the quarterfinal 40-0. Dispatched Maryland Metro in the semis. Trying to bring it all home for the 7th grade championship. Already inside 4 minutes. Quick moving clock here in the first quarter. Gutsakis, he's going to keep it himself. Oh, that's crafty. Touchdown. And the team from the Buckeye State has blown out to a double-figure lead here late in the first quarter, 12-0.
Ohio offensive coordinator doing a great job of mixing up. Right now, the defense has no idea who's getting the ball. They've attacked the outside. They've hit him in the middle. They hit him with a fade pass. And then right now, the quarterback runs his own read, keeps it, goes into the end zone. Right now, GMSAA is struggling right now a little bit with their defense.
But for the team wearing pink, they passed the eye test, don't they?
Absolutely.
So far.
Absolutely.
Now, they didn't convert their first attempt on the touchdown by Black. That's the only downfall. In a quarter that's seen a lot of great plays. Gutsakis throwing. There's Black. What a grab. Conversion is good. And those two know each other well because of their ties to the Western PA community, playing in that league outside of Greater Cleveland, and they're up 14-0.
Yeah, good example of what we call the fire drill, Neil, in football. You roll out and you call pass play, it breaks down, the quarterback rolls out. Near receivers are supposed to go deep, back receivers come forward. Black made a great job in the end zone. Hey, let me just float the back corner where nobody's usually defending. Quarterback sees him, hits him, he makes a great catch, high balls it, and that puts Ohio up 14-0 here in the first quarter.
Well, GMSAA, they got past South Florida in their first game down here in the quarterfinals. Several years running, it just used to be the semifinalists that made their way to Naples. They've expanded not only to a 10U division, but 8 teams make their way down. GMSA beat Carolina in the semifinal on the kickoff and tripped up by the turf monster, Justin Spivey. So now GMSAA, they need an answer on offense before it gets late early here in this title game.
Yeah, GMSA, this is an important drive. I know it's only the first quarter with 3.5 minutes left, but they need to answer this momentum right now and at least move the chains a few times and flip this field here. Let's see what they got.
Cipher. And the offense, they were stymied, went to a 3 and out. They go with some power. And up the middle for MJ Kraft.
Not a bad first play there for GMSA. Stay in front of the chains, get 3 yards, get back into your offense. Don't panic yet. Don't start flinging the ball around. Still stay to your game plan.
2nd and 5. Kraft, he's a battering ram of a back. They'll go to him again. Has the first down. Gain of 6. And moving the sticks for the first time here in this late afternoon for GMSAA.
Yeah, he definitely, Kraft looks like kind of a reincarnation of Jerome Bettis here. Just gets north and south. Somebody you don't want to get in front of, runs behind his pads. Let's see if they continue to feed him a little bit and get some momentum back.
And that's where they anchored much of their success last year. Well, there might be new personnel for Ohio. They played the physical game. And with the help of special teams, wore down Ohio in that second half. Here's Cipher. Slings it to the flat. Slipping a couple of tackles, but there's not many yards after the catch for Gavin Hammett. They go to him for explosive plays. He's one of the fastest on the team, but was covered on the outside by Lemons.
Unfortunately, Neil, we're starting to see the conditions have an impact on the game. We're starting to see more slips in this game already than we saw in the 6th grade championship. So kids are going to need to keep their feet under him as they're trying to make some cuts here, make some plays.
The main stadium here at the Paradise Coast Sports Complex opened for business in 2020, that tournament. They had played the games around Naples in preceding years. An awkward fall on the tackle after Kraft got the carry. He got about 4 yards, but he's down in some pain.
And, Neil, you mentioned this great complex that we have. Paradise Coast has done a great job, thanks to Steve Quinn and Eric and all the local officials. This is a tremendous facility that we're happy to be in. You remember back in the day when we used to be scattered.
Oh, yeah.
6 different high schools and middle schools. And, it's nice to all have our entire ops team that does a great job here. And obviously the ownership and keep all the kids and the fans and parents in one area. So kudos to Paradise and their passion for supporting youth sports.
I'm glad you brought that up. The ops staff for Football University. Of course, it's fantastically run by Steve Quinn and Eric Richards, but all the hard work of the team behind them, Matt Lauer leading operations throughout the week. And you ask the regular question, I need a ride here. Can you?
Yeah.
Are you going in one direction? Are you going to Naples High School? Are you going to Golden Gate?
Yeah, our ops team led by Chris Contreras and Jay Whitehead, Frank Rojas, Chuck Killens. These guys do a great job here. Even though we're not spread out, you still got a lot of fields. You got to make sure you got footballs and cones and chains and Gatorade and water for the kids and keeping security to make sure we make it about the sport of football. So kudos to the entire operations staff on doing another great job this year, not just in these events, but also at our FBU camps in the spring.
Premier youth football tournament in the country. If you caught a bit of the replay, Kraft, the unfortunate instance of having his leg pinned back here at the end of this run, and you hope he is okay. He's gingerly walking it off. He got caught under the leg of Tavion Lacey.
The good thing about what we just saw on the replay, Neil, I think that's more of an ankle than a knee. Hopefully he can walk that off or maybe have the trainer tighten that up. But that didn't look like it was a knee, so hopefully that young man will be okay. He's a big part of their offense.
3rd down and 6, GMSAA. Already coming up on 90 seconds remaining in the first quarter. On a toss sweep, they're going to pick it up on the outside with some good blocking. Good run by Trip Chapman. First down for Georgia Middle School.
Chapman says, hey, I'm next man up. I got to make a play for my team here. Give me the ball. Does a great job. Gets the first down. Moves the chains. GMSAA is starting to need a little momentum here going down the field. It's a great pickup.
Into plus territory for the first time. GMSAA. Running again, Chapman. Christopher Black is up to corral him down, but not before he picked up 7 yards. Thunder and lightning, really, with this backfield combination that was employed last year for their successful title run at the 6th grade level.
Yeah, that success of these last 2 plays, I'm starting to watch the GMSAA offensive line. They are opening holes. Good down block, second level block of linebacker, a big hole for him to run through.
On 2nd and 3, Chapman. And a cloud of pink shirts, but they're not able to stop him before he got 6 yards and a first down. So they're finding success with Trip Chapman. They move the markers down to the 31 where it's a first down. And will they take a snap here or elect to walk it to the other side? And they will. So a little bit of momentum for GMSA with the quarter turning. They need it. Ohio in a flash, like their head coach used to do, running by people. Off to a 14-0 lead at the end of 1 in the 7th grade FBU National Championship. On first down to start the second quarter, Cypher hands off for GMSAA. They're moving the football here. They've lost, for the moment, one of their big running backs in MJ Kraft. Isaiah Knowles, who's a big spark guy for this team. He had a kickoff return for the touchdown, one of the 2 special teams touchdowns last year. Gets 3 on first down. Just getting going in the second quarter. They go to Knowles again, and he is wrapped up on the outside on a nice play by Alexander Smith III.
Good job by Smith holding the edge there. Like a GMSA wants to get outside. He stays home, doesn't bite on the inside, run fake, stays outside, makes a big tackle for TFA there. Like the way that GMSA's offensive line is responding right now. They got one of the running backs hurt. They're like, hey, we still got to control the line of scrimmage. Right now, they are winning at the line of scrimmage. Hopefully, GMSA can take advantage of that and get back in this game here on this drive.
Got Zion Williams, who's offset in the backfield. He's going to motion out. They may look to throw to him. Instead, it's Knowles tossing down the seam, and he's completed the pass. And that's caught. Cash Martin is money on that play call, and it's a first down for GMSAA.
Yeah, this is the old-fashioned 38-pitch pass. You pitch to your running back. He sells the run, hoping to get that cornerback to come up, and then throws it. That was a 50-50 ball. Great job by Cash in making the play.
At the 18, first down. That's 3 straight first downs on this drive for GMSAA. envisioning the end zone is Trip Chapman. Just tripped up at the last moment. But he's got a 1st and goal. GMSAA, they've gone to their bread and butter. They said, let's keep it on the ground, know what we do well. And now they're sitting at 1st and goal.
Really impressed with Chapman, the way he runs the ball. Good speed, but physical, and finishes his runs going north and south. It's a great run by that young man.
Cipher. Those neon yellow boots. This time the interior of the Ohio line was ready for Chapman. And in the middle, Lacey, along with Jameer Jones, who goes 230 pounds. Feel the weight of all of it on that tackle.
Yeah. We talk about the offensive line of GMSAA, but now I think Team Ohio's like, hey, we need to respond here. That's a good first play right there to get the 2nd down.
Three minutes gone in the 2nd quarter. Cipher to throw for the first time since the opening series. And that's broken up. In coverage, Jalen Edwards did a really good job.
Here's what I love about that coverage there. I talk about this all the time at the camps that we do. DBs, you're in man coverage. If you're in phase, turn and look for the ball. That young man turned and found the ball. Had a PBU, which is a pass breakup. Goes up there, does a great job, almost gets a pick. That's really, really good coverage.
There's 13 players on the Ohio roster that are back, and one or were in the 6th grade championship game. So it's 3rd and goal, and there's going to be some time to discuss for the GMSA offense and head coach Leon Prickett. We'll pause, and back to Naples with the 3rd down play in a moment. 14-0 Ohio. Out of the timeout, 3rd and goal for GMSAA, but penalty before the snap. So they'll pick up a few more yards here since they're inside the 10 already, half the distance. At the 4, 3rd and goal, Cipher trying to sling that slant route. Circling back for it was Alonson Simmons, but it will bring up 4th down. It's just hard to beat this Ohio team out on the edge.
Yeah, a lot of team speed there. They would try to go with a tunnel screen here in the goal line in the red zone, and too many guys that have good speed there just blew that up right away.
Well, they were maneuvering along with the run, but they had the big tackle on Chapman. They haven't gone back to it since. The snap is bumbled. It's loose. And this is going for naught. It's a turnover on downs, and it's back to Ohio. Well, all the heavy lifting, and GMSAA had a 1st and goal and a deflating end to a promising series.
Let this be an example to you young coaches out there. You got down there running the ball. You're running up inside and outside. Then you get close, and then you try and get cute. Sometimes you gotta keep dancing with the girl you brought to the prom, and I think they kind of got away with that.
And I think it's important to emphasize, Anthony, they ran the one play to Chapman. He didn't have success, but he had success on 6 straight runs prior to that. you can't get deterred by one play, can you?
No, you cannot.
So we're inside of 6 minutes now, and Ohio's looking to grab a full stranglehold on this one in the first half, should they come up with some points here. They've got 90 yards to take it. Koutsakis, quarterback, thought about tucking and running and found a wide open man, which he overshot, and Jalen Edwards.
Good job by the D-line there. He actually had a couple open receivers on the initial start of that play. Decided to hold the ball. Came down, had a wide open guy on a crossing route. Just barely missed him there.
50 seconds. That's how fast Edwards runs the 400. He is an electrifying player, and there was a good chance. He had a lot of green in front of him if he made that grab.
Yeah. 50-second 400 meters is impressive at this age. Let me tell you that from a former track coach.
And it's the hardest race. It really is.
It will
the
put
dead
hair,
sprint around the track.
Yeah, it will put hair in your chest, male or female.
Momentary hold up here. The wind is picking up. The rain has subsided for the time being. There's another throw that Koutsakis misses the mark on. Maybe that breeze is playing a bit of a factor, although he led him a little aggressively there.
Yeah, the wind's picked up. It's at their back, so it's going to carry a little bit more. But once again, need to kind of get back to, hey, your bread and butter. Black has not touched the ball yet in this series. I was fully expecting him to touch the ball here on third down.
Saw Ted Ginn Jr. on the sideline in the poncho. There's a good look at the conditions right now. Great work from our crew all weekend from Prep Spin. Bring you the coverage on watchfbunc.com. So it's another 3rd and long, and in coverage, that's a strike thrown. Jaquan Gibson was one of the fastest kids in this game and found his way on the out route, bailing out the Ohio offense after 2 previous incompletions.
Yep. Great pocket, steps and throws into this ball, spins it out there. Great pickup on the out route.
You see Ted Ginn Jr. on that sideline. He approves. In motion. Misdirection to Black, who had a little bit of a leap, a Najee Harris leap in him to carry it out for about 8 over the 35.
Great job by Ohio using the motion to kind of set the defense going the other way. Counter, he kicks it outside because he's got that speed. Didn't really jump, just kind of avoided, split the double team, and then you can see that kid's explosive playability right there.
45-yard touchdown on the opening play from scrimmage for Black. And now they're running free again. Khalil Deming into GMSAA territory. Well, plays like that, you just hope GMSAA doesn't get too downtrodden. They couldn't convert after moving the ball. They had Ohio in 3rd and long, and they complete a pass in coverage for the first down, and now they're roaming along like they did on their opening couple of series. There's a play that will halt the momentum by Koutsakis for the moment. And we've got some chatter and a flag that's going to come off the tail end of that. Good play defensively by Mikel Davis to blow it up.
Okay, this is my point, Neil, where I remind all you young players out there watching this broadcast, if you're going to play this game at a high level, you have to control your emotions. You don't want to hurt your team. Football is the ultimate team game. You had a young man kind of lose his temper a little bit, and now it's going to cost his team 10 yards when they had some momentum moving the ball. Understand, you can be a great athlete, but you have to be able to control your emotions so you don't hurt the team here.
So that's going to back up Ohio. Going to get a water hydration break here. 14-0, the team from the Midwest is in control. And after this timeout, we'll resume here late in the second quarter from Naples in the 7th grade FBU National Championship. So a big penalty here after the play. And sportsmanlike conduct moving Ohio back inside their own 35. They had it at midfield, or near midfield. Elvis Koutsakis, the Ohio quarterback, into the flat. And Jalen Edwards just merging through some traffic there. He almost broke it free. Another flag coming in.
Same young man. Might want to get him out of the game before he gets himself out of this game here, Coach. He's starting to lose composure a little bit. Him and the other guy are getting into it. Nothing nasty. He's just a little frustrated right now, and the coach does a good job of getting him out of the game. Bringing in number 53 here.
Now there is, regardless of your talent level and team, there's a decorum that needs to be set here through all the grade levels, and the kids know that coming in, Anthony.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's part of the camp experience too, if they've
absolutely
attended an FBU camp. So swing the pendulum back the other way on sportsmanlike, this time on GMSAA.
Much more manageable first down here on 3rd and 5. See what they do here.
Koutsakis out into the flat, but that is well defended. Z. McClendon and Demetrius Meaty Carter, who's back for another go-around, trying to win a second straight title up a grade. They say he's better than last year. He was in on the tackle to make it 4th down. Call it a long 5. It is late here in the first half. GMSAA with the 14-0 advantage. And Ted Ginn Jr. wants a timeout. They put Amir Lemons in motion, and there was some confusion. So what do you maybe looking for if you're the Ohio offense here? Running game success early, inconsistency maybe in the passing game so far.
I mean, not to sound like a genius, but I'm probably going to get the ball to Christian Black here.
Find his hands, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's averaging about 5, 6, 7 yards per carry, so I think it might be a good idea to get the ball in his hands here on a big 4th down. The one thing, Neil, that Ohio has shown is they're very balanced. We've seen them throw the ball. We've seen them run outside. We've seen them run inside. So they've had some success. I don't think they need to get cute here and just get the ball into their best players' hands right now.
He's Anthony Williams, FBU's Director of Football and Player Development. Neil Sika, our great prep spin crew, 7th grade FBU National Championship. 2:08 remaining in the half. First play from scrimmage. Bolt of lightning from Christopher Black to set the tone. They lead 14-0. They've since added to it. Koutsakis escapes the pocket, but won't escape the second wave of GMSAA defenders. Christian Williams and Kylan Pope finish the job for a sack and a turnover on downs.
Yeah, good pressure here by GMSAA. on the edge. They got off the edge, came up with the quarterback. Quarterback had a chance to throw it, didn't want to let it go. Quarterbacks, you got to let the ball go. You got to throw guys open sometimes. You can't wait for them to get open. He held onto the ball, good coverage, led to a sack for GMSAA and a good chance to get the ball here back at midfield.
This is the middle of our 3 championships. The 8th grade edition comes your way at 6 o'clock Eastern. And the GMSA offense find its way to the scoreboard before the end of the half. Trip Chapman is a good bet to get them there. They gave up on that inside the red zone the last time out and ended up turning it over on downs after a very healthy drive. He's got a healthy gain of 7.
Yeah, great job by Chapman there. We call it yak, yards after contact. Got hit at 4, ended up with a 9-yard gain here, and now it's going to look like he's going to pick up a first down.
He's doing it again. Down to the Ohio 40 for Chapman. Down to 80 seconds, though. GMSAA looking to the sideline quickly for the play. Cipher. His throw is intercepted. Singleton. Well, he didn't see him with the safety coming over. And that was picked off by Cordell Scott. Rather. And Cordell Scott, who's another track star, and the son of former All-American Cordell Scott Jr., snuck in on the ball intended for Maddox Davis.
Yeah, what you see there is that they were in cover 2. Nobody attacked the flat, so the corner just sinked back in coverage, closed the window with the oncoming safety. Quarterback under through the ball. The cornerback sinks back and makes a great play. That's a big-time play for a 7th grade cornerback right there by number 5.
So a big interception for Ohio, the game's first turnover. Black is in the backfield with Koutsakis. It's Koutsakis to throw the slant. It was nearly intercepted by Mikkel Davis. There is a flag. It's a hold.
Neil, I'm going to take this time to kind of tell these young quarterbacks that are watching this broadcast, one of the things we do in FBU camp, when you're a quarterback, you see the receiver open, but you've got to see the defense also. Right now he threw that ball not knowing that linebacker was sinking right into the passing lane, and he almost picked it off. You've got to see the windows, and that's something we work on with your eyes as a quarterback at FBU camps.
Well, I hope he's seeing also the big front that GMSAA presents. Chase Foster is a load to deal with. You got the holding call because of it. They go back to black. A blistering start in this game for Ohio's offense. They looked untouchable through the first 2 series, and it's been a little helter-skelter since, even maintaining the 14-0 lead. Defense did come up with a big stop with the GMSAA drive, and they just forced a turnover. Koutsakis. He's running from a lot of traffic and through to Black, who dropped it, but there are more penalty flags. I don't know if you had legal man downfield. That's exactly what you had. The lineman had released, and you saw all those black jerseys in the backfield.
Yeah. You can't blame linemen on that play. I mean, they know what's supposed to happen, and they kind of get a feel, an internal clock of when the ball is thrown, and they want to get downfield and help their guys out. And the quarterback kind of held onto the ball, and it leads to guys getting downfield. So it happens. I think right now with Ohio, they've got to get back in front of the chains right now. Give these guys a big dose of Christian Black here, see if he can't break one.
He's been quiet offensively. They've only given him the 1 carry, Anthony. We saw that much like in the previous game, not to second guess coaching, but McQuivy, the stalwart of Utah, was used less and less in the key drives in that game. Here's Koutsakis. He's going down off the edge. The pressure coming from Christian Williams.
Great pressure by the D-line. Knowing it's a passing situation, they just pin their ears back and come forward. And Chris tries to climb the pocket, doesn't get there. Great job by D-line, get a sack there for the defense.
He's a new addition, a big addition from North Cobb County. And his MO is being an active pass rusher. And just provided a big sack to make it 3rd and forever for Ohio. The ball is at the 27. They need to get to their own 49, so 3rd and 22 with 9 seconds remaining.
Definitely expecting them to punt here with 9 seconds left. Got the win at your back, put them back there deep, and then go into halftime here. But you got to make sure, good snap, good kick here on this potential punt.
What would you say you're stressing? Let's start with GMSAA. When the second half comes along, you're still in this game, down a couple of scores, but where's your focus going to lie?
I think it's going to be on continue to win at the line of scrimmage and getting the ball to all playmakers' hands and stay with our game plan. Even though you're down 2 touchdowns, you can still stick to your strategy.
Koutsakis gives to Black. Just let him dance around before he finds big 63. Williams, little smash and grab to end the opening stanza here in Naples in the 7th grade title tilt. The GMSAA needs to find the scoreboard. Ohio with a fantastic beginning, leading at 14-0 at the half of the 7th grade FBU National Championship. We'll pause and come back for the start of the second half, although, wait, they've added 1 second. We will not depart you just yet. But the turnover it's not a turnover on downs. It was 3rd down, so they're going to make Ohio punt, and here it makes it more intriguing knowing the special teams history between these two in last year's game.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to give a shout out to Christian Williams there. He has definitely put a stamp on this game on those last 2 plays, being very physical at the line of scrimmage, getting off blocks and putting a big hit on Black on that last play.
Of course, if you're Ohio, you're probably just taking a knee anyway with the 1 second. That will take us to halftime. That's exactly what Koutsakis was thinking. And we head to the break. 20 minutes to decide it in the 7th grade FBU National Championship. Ohio 14, GMSAA 7. We'll continue with more in the second half on Watch FBU NC a bit here from Naples. Welcome back here to the Paradise Coast Sports Complex in Naples, Florida. Start of the third quarter of the 7th grade FBU National Championship. Neil Sika, FBU Director of Football and Player Personnel. Anthony Williams also helped coordinate the roster for the FBU All-American Bowl, which was played last night. A victorious coach. And we're seeing if Ohio will be a victorious team, Anthony.
Yep.
They led 14-0.
Kind of got the feeling they took the foot off the gas a little bit here. Let's see how they respond. And more important, let's see GMSA, who gets a pretty decent return here to midfield. We're going to give them a short field here to get their offense going.
It was Ohio, who had the great opening kickoff return and then scored on the first play
Yep.
from scrimmage. And this return by Gavin Hammett will get out near midfield. GMSAA, they need to find the recipe for red zone success. They moved the football well on their long drive in the second quarter, only to come up short, and then an interception put the clamps on the end of the first half.
Yeah, my halftime advice to the coaches would have been, don't get away from what got you into the red zone. I think both teams have shown to get down there but not be able to finish.
Chapman bouncing off a tackle. He's been close to breaking it on several occasions. Amir Lemons finishing off the play. GMSAA bench and fans thought that should have warranted a flag. Forward progress taking that to the 46-yard line of Ohio. These two programs met last year in the 6th grade game, won by GMSAA. They won championships at the 6th and 7th grade level. Off the blitz. And they're going to rule down Cypher, who was thrown down like a rag doll on the pressure right down I-75. Coming was Khalil Dimming.
Yeah, this kind of pressure when it's right in the quarterback's face, there's really nothing he could do there. Perfectly timed blitz, big-time sack, loss of 6 yards, puts him in behind the chains, 3rd and long.
But there again, Anthony, I wonder, they had 6 yards on the first carry to Chapman. And look to the air on the next drop. Now 3rd and 17. They need to get to the 41 of Ohio. That's a nice out route and a catch by Maddox Davis. And it will make it 4th and manageable should GMSAA decide to play here.
Good play concept by GMSAA. You got an outside receiver running the vertical. The slot guy runs the out. Quarterback rolls out, gives him 2 options. He hits a slot guy for a pickup, nice pickup. Makes it now manageable on 4th and about 6 here.
Opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Cypher the quarterback. Cypher on the roll. That's going to fall incomplete. Well, there was confusion because his intended target, Hammett, hadn't even come out of the break yet.
Neil, sometimes these young quarterbacks, they get a little greedy. There's an old saying that every coach uses that even I use a lot. Take what the defense gives you. And I think he got a little greedy there. He had 2 guys come underneath that if he had make the completion, it would have been a first down, and they keep moving the chains here. So learning a lesson for that young quarterback.
Mentioning GMSAA's championships, they're trying to win a 7th grade title, even with a different group for the 2nd consecutive year. The 6th graders had a shot going into this year's tournament. They had won 2 straight, 2020 and 2021, but that victory went to Southwest Florida. Can't help but feel good for that program. The year they've had winning their first title. They're ready for black. And not going to get gashed like they did on the opening play from scrimmage, with the wind really whipping now. And up in the hole to make the tackle was Knowles. That's a loss of 4.
Very good tackle by that young man. Christian Black is hard to tackle in space with all that speed and turnover. And he did a great job of getting his pad level low, wrapping him up, driving him to the ground.
Such a quick beginning, but everything, and I could say this for both sides of the ball, Anthony is stuck in neutral since the Ohio 14-0 advantage.
Yeah, teams are starting to settle down now. Defense starting to key in on what they see.
To the pistol, drops back Christopher Black. Koutsakis on a low snap. Black still runs through 5 would-be tacklers anyway to the 35. Well, they'll mark him at the 37 of GMSAA. What a run.
Take a look at his balance here. Puts his hand on the ground twice, 3 times, keeps his legs driving, and turns what would have normally a 5-yard play into a 15-yard pickup and a first down for his team. That's a great job by that young man.
So from a loss of 4 and then into GMSAA territory and a gain of 26. He'll get a break here. Koutsakis hands to Dimming. And he runs for 9 yards before the tackle from Chase Foster.
Like the last game, Neil, I'm going to say Dimming. Dimming is he's averaging about 9 yards carry, just like Apollo was in the previous game. That's a nice 1-2 punch there. If I'm Ohio, I'm going to stay with that. I'm going to keep giving those guys a ball until they stop it.
2nd and 2. Black is back in the backfield with Koutsakis, who throws to the flat and way off the mark. A lot about Jalen Edwards out there. There's the 3-time All-American standing in the middle, giving his quarterback instructions. Ted Ginn Jr. Mentioned earlier his dad, Ted Ginn Sr., finally, after 2 runner-up appearances, but all the great work he's done for the City kids in Cleveland and mentoring them. They got a championship in the Division IV level over Cincinnati, Wyoming a few weeks ago up in Canton, Ohio.
I think I'm seeing Christian Black there in straight eye. Watch this, probably a lead play right up the middle.
We got a delay of game down to 4:20 on the 3rd quarter clock. Some powerful runs from Black and Dimming on this series, but now it gets a little more interesting from 3rd and about 1.5 yards to 3rd and 5.
Don't know if this would change my play call here. I still want to get the ball into Christian Black's hands here. They're definitely not going to do it out of eye because they're now going into a 3-by-1 formation, which means they've got 3 receivers on one side, 1 to the other. Look for this to be probably a pass play here, Neil.
There's Koutsakis, the slant, has his man. Right between the hash marks, delivers a strike to Jaquan Gibson. He is a speed demon and broke open in the middle.
Great play call here by Coach Gill and his staff. 2 slants. Number 8 has the deeper slant, hits the window, makes a great catch in his hands, and gets up the field for a first down, 1st and goal.
Ball at the 8. Koutsakis under center. Gives to Black. Black turns it upfield for his 2nd touchdown.
Touchdown run by number 1, Christopher Black.
Give the H in the OHIO. That's as good as signaling touchdown, and Black has 2. Ohio leads 20-0.
We talked about it earlier with his speed. What's more impressive than his speed is his power and balance. Had contact 2 or 3 times, kept his feet driving, was able to stay up and get that ball in the end zone for his team to put him up 20-0 here.
And you have the OHIO chant going around. Those who made their way from Northeast Ohio on the 2-point try. It is caught at the goal line, but I don't think the ball crossed the plane. It did not, even though Edwards had the reception. So it's 20-0 Ohio with 3:52 remaining here in the third quarter. And we'll be back to Naples in a moment. Caleb Smith out there for Ohio to kick it off. 3:52 remaining here in the third quarter. Two powerful runs on that drive by Black and Dimming before Black finished it off with a 9-yard touchdown run. Christopher Black, over 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns in this championship. That'll go for a touchback.
Great kick with the wind here, puts it in the end zone, and I think one of the first times we're going to see GMSA start with the ball like at the 20-yard line. So gives the Ohio defense a really good chance to get a 3-and-out here, get the ball back. 20-0 now, getting towards the end of the third quarter. It's almost like GMSAA has to score on this drive, to get back in this game.
And you wonder, will they be patient enough to stick with the run, knowing that it's going to burn some time off the clock? As they haven't found a lot of success throwing it here, and they've made a change at quarterback for the moment. Bodie Spence with that Raider logo on the lid is going to give a delay on the give to Chapman. So new look, same recipe. First down over the 35-yard line for Chapman and a good start to the drive.
Neil, I said it before and I'll say it again. Great play call here. Inside run. Young man does a great job to keep his feet going. He's not big, but he just keeps his legs driving. I would like to see GMSAA kind of continue with this. Don't get it into throwing the ball a lot. Just keep running your offense. Run the ball a little bit.
16 yards on that run. This is Spence who's going to keep it. Read it well. And we'll take it along on the RPO all the way to the 41 of Ohio. Bodie Spence is the son of a coach. Can see the patience already in a couple of plays.
Definitely forced to call a timeout there. Spence did a great job. Zone read there. You just had a big run by your running back. He pulls it. Defense goes to the running back, and he picks up big yards here, right up the middle. Great job by the O-line also. Give them a little bit of a momentum here going into this timeout.
It's GMSAA is in short. It's been in short supply, the momentum today, but they are far from out of it with 2:55 remaining in the third quarter. And Ohio trying to make the adjustments. A lot more points from the sixth grade group onto this year. They wanted to build from the interior. Their head coach, Leon Prickett, that's where they felt they made the biggest strides. There's a difference about trying to win a second consecutive title with this age group. And on the run by Chapman, he fumbled. And Ohio has the football. That is just killer. Turnovers have been haunting GMSAA and crushing momentum all game long, including the one on downs. Ohio has the football back.
We're looking at this replay right now. His knees are down. That should be a dead ball right there. That should not be a fumble. But I don't think we have replay in this tournament. Once again, big hole. Young man puts his hand out. He's down, and then the ball comes out. This should stay GMSAA ball, but
that's a really tough break.
It really is.
And you do not have the power
no red
of
flags.
replay.
Yeah.
But maybe in future tournaments that can be instilled.
Yeah. You hear a lot of the fans yelling it because they saw it also, but no whistle. They call it a fumble, and now you just got to overcome adversity here. Defense got to step up and get the ball back for their offense.
So Chapman definitely down. It should still be GMSAA ball, but there's nothing they can do to reverse the call. We don't have video review. Koutsakis, he gives to Black. Christopher Black. Just a freight train. He's got 8 yards on first down. Clock goes inside of 2 minutes here in the third quarter.
Note to all my young running backs out there, whether you have great speed or not, if you can keep your legs driving on contact, you can play running back at this and every level above it. Got to have ball security, keep your legs driving, and finish your runs north and south. Great job by Christian Black on doing that.
Black, first down. To midfield and more. Look at Christopher Black just churning out the extra yards. He is the bell cow. There's a GMSAA lineman down. It's a big piece of their defense, and Christian Williams, who made big plays at the end of the first half. 1:15 remains. And with the injury,
don't want to turn this into a camp, but look at this young running back. Look at how he lowers his pad level and just keeps his legs driving. He's got an attitude the way he runs the ball. Like, I'm not going down by the first guy that hits me. He's going to take that guy for a ride and just keep driving his feet and get what he can. We call it yak. Once again, yards after contact. This young man understands that, hey, I'm not going to go down just because somebody puts contact on me. I'm going to keep driving my legs, spinning, and trying to get more, and he's doing a great job of that. They need to feed him the ball to finish out this game because right now he is on a roll.
I think he gave a mini flex there at the end of that run, Anthony.
It was a mini flex.
He is flexing wherever he finds applicable here in this title game, and did so on the opening play from scrimmage. Well, you hope Christian Williams is okay. We'll pause and come back to Naples here late in the third quarter with Ohio leading 20-0 in the 7th grade championship. Christian Williams walking off gingerly, the defensive lineman for GMSAA. They've already lost MJ Kraft to injury. It's 1st and 10 from the GMSAA 45 for Ohio. Trying to burn more clock here. In control, 20-0. Interception, a turnover on downs. Their possession here comes after a fumble, which should not have stood, and we had the power of video review. Chapman was down, but Ohio, they won't apologize for it. They're trying to march toward some restitution and winning the 7th grade championship after a loss in the 6th grade game. Give to Jamal Goodson.
Good job by GMSAA's defense there, picking up that run, getting a stop there. They need a little momentum here. I was just telling Neil here during the break, not that you want to play conservative because you still want to play to win, But right now with this running game with Black, they need to just keep feeding him the ball and go from there.
GMSAA needs a big rally. They need a stop on the upcoming third down to start the fourth quarter to begin that. 20-0 Ohio after 3 in the 7th grade FBU National Championship. Fourth quarter begins with a third down and 3 for Ohio.
Ohio's going to be going into this win that is picking up since the start of this game here. We just talked about it. Definitely want to throw the ball up, have it flutter, possibly cause turnover here. So hopefully Coach Gann understands. Keep that running game going, and you're kind of having two opponents right now. You're playing the defense and you're playing the clock, even though it's the start of the fourth quarter. Let your running game work. Let the big men up front do their job.
Now they had the distance messed up, not the down. It is 3rd and 8, not 3rd and 4. Getting that squared away. Koutsakis has Christopher Black back there with him. 4 receivers. Koutsakis leaping up to try and bring it in. It's incomplete is Jalen Edwards. Good coverage downfield. Justin Spivey. 4th down for Ohio.
On this play here, they went 3 by 1 once again. Once again, 3 receivers at one side, 1 to the other. I don't know if the young man was open. He kind of threw it up. That could have been a pick and maybe give the momentum back to GMSAA. I think right here, either go with a short rollout here option for the quarterback or just run the ball and let your defense come out again. So we'll see what they do here.
Isaiah Knowles had the coverage. Also back there with Spivey. On 4th and 8, Koutsakis has good protection and waited perfectly to deliver that ball. So Jaquan Gibson for a first down. He did most of the work after the catch. That's good poise and patience from Koutsakis.
Absolutely. Anil Koutsakis did a great job of, sometimes as a quarterback, you got to let the receiver clear a defender. He waited till the last second, threw it to him before the sidelines, got the first down.
To the GMSAA 30. Low snap on the ground. Somehow handed it away to Black. Christopher Black. Turn out the lights. He's in again for the 3rd touchdown of his afternoon.
Touchdown, Ohio.
Number 1 has put on a one-man show in the offensive backfield for Ohio. 26-0.
Take a look at this play here. Bad snap, that's okay. I got a guy that can run faster than your guys. He gets to the edge, and then it's just lights out. Speed kills for a reason. Christian Black knows how to use it, and he doesn't just rely on it. He's got 3 touchdowns, as he lets you know there. Nice little straight arm right there. Look at the turnover. Look at the cut. Look at the balance. Kudos to 75 there trying to close on it, but great play call. Great job by Ohio here, and I think that one's probably going to seal it out for them.
That's Weston Sturdivant trying to do so. Here's the throw for 2. It's good. Koutsakis with that pass, and the reception is Chase Ivory. There is a penalty marker. It's also significant because if it stands, it's 28-0, and we've got a running clock. It is a good conversion, and the personal fouls that will offset after the play. And we've got a running clock now.
Penalties against both sides. They offset.
It is 28-0.
That makes it 28-0 Ohio.
I'm noticing that our back judge made that call. We do not have our referee with which we started.
For those fans that are wondering why the clock is running, we do have a rule within FBU. It's a running clock. You go up by 28, it's a running clock, trying to prevent injury and trying to prevent teams from being, overly embarrassed. Now, but if GMSAA scores here and gets the score back within 28, it goes back to regular clock. The clock will now only stop for injuries and timeouts for the rest of the game.
Thanks for clarifying that, Anthony. And a lot of high school associations have that rule in place now. I know it's 30 points in Ohio. Texas is no, not in Texas. All right.
Neil, you probably saw we had some teams score almost 100 points in games this year. In Texas, we don't believe in the running clock.
You didn't get the message that FBU is distributing here. Fair enough. So I guess it varies from state to state. But here we've got a running clock situation. And GMSAA, valiant title winners at the 6th grade level. But I got punched in the mouth the way this game started with Black's touchdown run of 45 yards on the first play of scrimmage. And they created a few murmurs, but have never fully gotten their offense installed to a position to get them within striking distance. They were moving the football. They turned it over on downs inside the 10. Had an interception and a fumble.
Neil, one of the key words that we use in football is finishing. And unfortunately, GMSAA got a chance to move the ball, but they just couldn't finish their drives. And that's why they're down 28-0 right now.
That pass by Spence was bounced in there. Intended for Katie and Hudson. 30 of the 39 players that were on GMSA's 6th grade winning title are back here at the 7th grade level. But pending something miraculous, they're going to come up a little bit shy here in the title game. Here's the throw. Spence, he got smacked. That's going to be roughing the passer, and Chapman's off to the races down to the Ohio 25. That should add on to the end of the run.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of linemen downfield, even though that was a screen play. They were way downfield. I don't know if the referee caught it here, but there was definitely a flag. It's like more of the late hit, like you said, Neil.
Remember, they are short-staffed now, this crew. It is roughing the passer.
Good positive pickup there for the GMSAA's offense there on the screen. Hopefully these kids can get in the end zone and feel a little positive about what they're doing here.
The mark-off is a half the distance penalty at the end of the run. First down.
As Neil mentioned earlier, this has kind of been a bugaboo, as we call it, for GMSAA getting down. Here, look at the play here. Offensive lineman release, screen in the middle of your running back, go get behind your big lineman, make people miss in open space, and pick a big gain. That's a great job by the running back there.
Inside of 4 minutes, they get it under the 28-point margin. They'll go back to a normal clock, as Anthony was just referencing. Good pursuit on the outside. Jaquan Gibson, one of the fastest kids on this field. Got that G of Glenville on his helmet. 2nd and 9. Bodie Spence.
He's done a good
Second
job.
straight drive, yeah.
Yeah, he's done a good job since coming to the game. I mean, he looked like the moment's not too big for him. He's had a couple of good runs, had some good passes, showing some moxie here coming in, trying to get this team in the end zone.
Trip Chapman, he's played a whale of a football game. Spence looks up top, throws, got his man, touchdown, GMSAA.
Pass complete to Max Maher.
Max Mayer
Touchdown, GMSAA.
is in for the touchdown. He's got the hops in the good hands. And the shutout is thrown aside, 28-6.
Look at the play here. Little fade route by the ex-receiver. 50-50 ball, goes up and gets it and catches it at his high point. Doesn't wait for it to come down. That's a great job by that young man. Good route, fade, good throw. Help your quarterback out, make a big play for your team who's behind trying to get back in this game.
Outmaneuvered Chase Ivory, who caught the 2-point conversion at the other end for Ohio. They can pump the brakes on the running clock at 2:58. And still give GMSA a glimmer of hope. Spence on play action, and that ball is dropped. Zion Williams was open. It was well designed. Well, the score is 28-6. And a late flag.
On the north side, outside the stadium, for both teams, again, there will be an award ceremony for both GMSAA and Ohio in the amphitheater on the north side outside the stadium after the game.
Score being 28-6 here, coming up on the kickoff. Look for GMSAA to probably go for an onside here, see if they can get the ball. Turf is wet, it's getting a little slippery. You need the ball to get back in the game. I mean, it's 2:58 left, but we'll see how it happens here. But I look for the onside here and look for Team Ohio to be in what they call their hands team. A lot of your skill position guys with good hands will be up near in the first 10 yards of the kickoff, just trying to get the ball, go down, and get their offense in the field and start running some clocks. We'll see how this turns out.
Temperature from a few hours ago, it's dropped about 12 degrees with that breeze. So with the penalty, they're kicking off from the 45.
Those of you that might be new to football, onside kick, the ball has to travel 10 yards before the kicking team can touch it, unless it touches one of the opposing players. Let's see what kind of kick the kicker uses here for this onside.
Still a 3-score game here in the 7th grade championship. And here is that kick that never made it 10 yards and goes out of bounds. So Ohio has the football. The attempt was there from Max Mayer, who just caught the touchdown. He is their kicker punter. Three touchdowns for Christopher Black.
Looks like they're taking him out of the game. Like his night might be over, but he has had a tremendously productive night tonight. Letting some other kids play, get a chance to have an impact in this game. But Christian Black definitely left his signature in this game from the minute from the first offensive play, Neil.
Well, they're trying to mark off the penalty yards from the kick going out of play.
Yeah, they're
But
really,
if it never was breaking past the 40, it should just be there anyway.
yeah, they'd have the option to take the penalty or just take it where it is. I don't think they're taking it where it is, at the 41-yard line.
So they'll get all their ducks in a row. And a new quarterback is out there for Ohio.
First down, Ohio.
This give to Dimming. And he will go for about 3 yards. The quarterback is Arthur Thomas. He's getting a few snaps now with Koutsakis.
Focus for Team Ohio right now is just running the clock, staying in bounds, and ball security. When you're ahead, you're not trying to score again. Right now, you have enough points to win. Run the ball, make sure you protect it, and stay in bounds for you young guys that are out there watching.
Handful of players, part of the Ted Ginn Elite program on this Ohio roster. He splits his time between Cleveland and South Florida.
Gain of 5 on the carry. Timeout, GMSA.
GMSAA is going to burn a timeout here with 2:06 remaining. And the 3rd and 4 upcoming.
Some of you might be wondering why call timeout there. GMSAA coach are telling their guys, hey, we want to get a stop. Let's try and get the ball back here. They're going to teach them, hey, the first guy, make the tackle. Second guy, you're trying to strip the ball away from the ball carrier. So I'm sure he's kind of going over that. Some people might say, hey, why is he doing that? It's over. You never know in football. Until there are zeros on the clock, you're still trying to find a way to put your team in a position to win or have success. And I'm sure that's what they're talking about right now.
8th grade game will follow this. And its 12th edition. The FBU National Championship. GFL looking to go back-to-back at the 8th grade level. And they'll have Dallas in their way. Looking forward to that one there, Mr. Texas.
Yeah, that Dallas team's got a really good running back that you'll enjoy watching. He'll definitely put on a show. That will be a really great game to close out the 2022 tournament.
Thomas tried to show a little bit of deception, but not buying it was Chase Foster. So it's 4th down.
Loss of 3 on the carry. Timeout, GMSA.
GMSAA, knowing that's their only hope. Timeouts, score, and get turnovers or onside kick recoveries. It's a long shot at 1:59 remaining, but they're not giving in. 28-6.
Yeah, from a game standpoint, like, do you want to punt it? Do you possibly risk a ball getting snapped over his head or a block? Wouldn't be surprised if they just came out and ran to the play, and if they get the first down, great. If you don't, bring your defense on the field to close out this last 2 minutes of the game. Let's see what they do here.
Well, at the 8th grade level, GFL trying to do something that no program has done yet, and that's win 3 in a row at that same grade level. We've had the linear progressions from 6th, 7th, and 8th, which the graduating class just did. You saw players like Deuce Geralds and Ty Atkinson, Julian Lewis that were in the All-American Bowl last night. So looking forward to that one. It's 4th down, and tossing that up, but falling incomplete with Ivory, the intended man. And so the ball is going back to GMSAA with 1:53 remaining.
And Neil, you mentioned some of those great players from last year's 8th grade game. What a pleasure it was for me and my staff, both Rod Dollar, my staff, working with some of those kids from that league. Tyler Atkinson, Deuce, as you mentioned, Juju, who unfortunately didn't play, but what a great bunch of kids. And I'm not just talking about as athletes. Great young men of character, came out, they're leaders, they play the game the right way. Really enjoy coaching those kind of kids.
The much ballyhooed freshman clearly made an impact in that game, but Anthony, everything I love about it is maybe the unknowns or someone who puts their name on the map, like a George Kelly last night, the running back from Massachusetts who had 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
Yeah, you and I talked about that when you came by the hotel to interview the players. I mean, we love the kids that are already known. Everybody knows Julian Lewis. He doesn't need any more exposure. But there were some kids that took advantage of the platform that showcased last night to showcase their ability. And I talked with college coaches, and they were blowing me up last night, like, hey, do you have the contact information on a George Kelly, on a Jake Nanum, who was our center, guys like that. So I love that our FBU Freshman All-American game is a platform to show why certain kids or why they already have offers, like a Jakeem Stewart, and how some kids need to be on that same showcase with how they played against the other elite freshmen in the country.
Team Addy Zero, coached by Anthony Williams, victorious 38-23 in the game last night that was played in front of a packed house. There's a packed backfield. Odie Spence isn't going anywhere because The sack got home. Jamari Backus is in for the tackle for loss. And a big sack to start GMSAA's drive. They're down to 90 seconds. Spence trying to develop a screen to trip Chapman. And Chapman got a big hit from Black, who's finishing the job here on defense.
Truly impressed with Chapman. He's not a big kid, but he is not afraid of contact and throwing his bite out there. And he's got great feet and explosion and quickness. Keep an eye on that kid going into next year as an 8th grader, because he is doing some things. Every time he touches the ball, he's getting positive yardage.
Yeah, he's had a really nice tournament. A hand here goes to Knowles. Knowles is breaking free. Knowles is down inside the 10 to the 5. First and goal, GMSAA. And you applaud the finish to this game. They're not packing it in. They're going to call their final timeout with 40 seconds remaining.
Little inside run here. No real hole inside. He takes it outside. The corner gets stuck inside, which corners you don't want to do. And he turns the corner and has a big play here. Good for him. He hasn't run the ball very much. Came in trying to help his team out. It's a great job by that young man.
The 7th grade national championship, which last year saw GMSAA win the title at the 7th grade level. It was a lot of traffic directing back with the hardware to Georgia. Winners across the board with GMSAA in 6th and 7th grade, 8th grade GFL. Now we've got some aggression here. And Ohio's going to call a timeout.
All right. From Coach Williams, another message to you young players out there. Game's kind of decided right now.
And don't lose your cool.
Don't lose your composure and embarrass yourself, your family, and whatever league you're representing right now. Every player, I played with a guy named Joe Montana, Tom Brady, everybody is taking an L. How you handle the L is what's going to define your character and who you are as a person. So just as you young guys, I know it's hard. You want to win. You flew out here. But play with composure. Control your emotions. Let your play do the talking. That's why you have a mouthpiece. You don't need your mouth to tell people how good you are.
Spent some time with the 49ers, did Anthony Williams. Looking back on it now, well, we'll save this for the 8th grade game. Now the game has evolved and changed. Spence is going to throw this up top. It's going to fall out of the hands of Hudson, Katie and Hudson. Such a long player, Hudson. They wanted to take advantage of that in the one-on-one matchup. Second and goal at the 35. Nothing doing. Lorenzo Smith brings down Knowles for a loss. GMSAA out of timeouts. They can't stop it. This could be the last play. Taking a long time to get organized. The final 8 seconds here in the 7th grade title game. Spence throws. It should have been intercepted to complete the coronation, but Chase Ivory had it slip through like a bar of soap. And it's been said before, for teams in Ohio, the best darn team in the land is Ted Ginn Jr.'s group here at the 7th grade level. Ohio wins their first national championship
teams are reminded
Father and son have titles 17 days apart.
on the north
And
side
the
of the
team
stadium,
from the Buckeye State, 28
Jumbotron.
to 6,
Fans and
the
players of
final
both teams check out
here in the 7th grade edition.
other side of the stadium, outside the stadium, behind the Jumbotron.
It looked like it was going to be a long afternoon for GMSAA, Anthony. They hung in there, credit to them, but the firepower, the explosiveness of Christopher Black and the team speed of Ohio, too much to overcome.
Absolutely. As I mentioned in the last game, if I had to give out a game ball, definitely going to go to Christian Black, but it wasn't just his show. His offensive line did a great job of giving him holes to run through. They were balanced on offense. Quarterback got a chance to throw the ball a little bit. They had a second running back that made some great plays. Overall, and on defense, they flew around and made plays. So they're a complete team, definitely deserving of the 7th grade FBU National Championship.
First time a team from the state of Ohio has an FBU National Championship. A debutante, one might say, like Southwest Florida. 28-6, the final. Ohio victorious over GMSAA. GFL and Dallas is the 8th grade championship game, and that's coming up in about 10 minutes' time right here on WatchFBUNC.com. For Anthony Williams, I'm Neil Seekin. Our great Prep Spin crew will step aside for now, but come back to Naples for the marquee matchup in the 8th grade FBU National Championship. Ohio, the winner at the 7th grade level, 28-6 over GMSAA. So long for the moment from Naples.